Welcome to all to Humanity Unplugged podcast. I'm your host, Jermaine McCrimmon. We'd like to thank you guys for sharing, subscribing, and just following us on this journey as we give you this great content. We're on all social media platforms, and we'd like you guys to please just follow along, share it with someone. You can help someone, let the community know about it so they can get this good information so they can be prepared for what's coming. In our previous episode that we had on our podcast, I went over illness. Yeah, it's an illness. It is a virus that's happened out in China, HMPV, and it's tearing up China hospitals. And now it's joined the wave, and it's over here now. But it's not being reported as HMPV virus at all, but it is a total uprise in all our states reporting that there's a record high in respiratory illnesses. So before we get into this video, I would just like to give a shout out to all the ones that's helping and doing what they can over in California. It's really ironic that every year we have these fires in California. Our government know about it. The state of California know about it. Everyone knows about this. Congress knows this happens every year. And we're behind, it seems like every year, just like when Katrina got hit with that natural disaster, FEMA was just behind. We were acting to this stuff very slowly, and we're not prepared. It's like we don't know it's coming. It happens every year. So my heart and prayers go out to them. And guys, please, you can help donate or give what you can to the people over there in California. It's really bad over there right now. A record high of 43,000 acres of land being destroyed. Homes just burnt up to the crisp. Electrical poles are just being burnt. And what's ironic about all of this, it's amazing how people seem to have an opportunity in your dysfunction or an opportunity in your sad reality. Some people are losing their homes, and other people are taking advantage of this opportunity to go break into people's houses and steal goods and just launder and take people belongings. It's crazy. Over 25 people have been arrested in neighborhoods trying to steal people personal belongings during this tragedy. I'm telling you, only in America, man, people find an opportunity to get over on you while you're already dealing with something unheard of. But hopefully our president and FEMA and our new president to come can contribute something positive and get them people back on their feet. But what I'm hearing is, a little strange with the insurance on the houses. If your insurance don't cover everything, then call us. We'll help you out a little something to offset what they don't. And that might sound normal, but this is a natural disaster. I'm waiting on the president to call that, so therefore more funding can be released. But Biden is taking his time. He does look like he takes his time for everything. No shade, but I'm just saying he look a little stiff. But I will say that if this keeps up, it will be a national disaster called sooner or later. So therefore, all funding can be out to help the people that's in need. So as we go into this video, I want you guys to pay attention and really listen up to what's going on, because it's an uproar. It's more than one virus that's out right now, and it's doing its thing. So let's take heed to it. Let's listen up. Here we go.
And now to the growing nationwide threat of respiratory viruses, and the CDC issuing a warning. 35 states now reporting high levels. Medical correspondent Dr. Darian Sutton is here to break this down for us because you are, as we said, an ER physician.
Mhm.
So tell us what you are seeing and hearing and why this season is so concerning.
Yeah, I've been in the emergency room for the past couple of weeks up until this weekend, and I've been seeing these rising rates rise in real time. I'm testing for multiple diseases, COVID, flu, RSV, and I have to say that the majority of the test results that I'm getting back from my patients are influenza A, and that's reflected in what we're seeing across the nation. If you can look at these numbers, an estimated 5.3 million cases of flu so far, 63,000 hospitalizations, and almost 3,000 deaths. Now, this is not nearly as high as we've seen in terms of the total of last year, and we haven't seen yet the peak, but we're not sure yet exactly when that peak will be. But what we are clear about is that we need to be proactive in preventing.
What kind of a strain is this putting on the hospitals now?
Incredible strain, George. When we talk about flu, COVID, RSV, norovirus, we're talking about those infections as well as other common emergencies, heart attacks, strokes, car accidents. And so this puts a strain in terms of the ability to treat all of these patients and also space. And it becomes incredibly difficult each and every day as we march toward that peak.
Every parent knows the strain of this as well.
Yeah.
Some of the latest deaths, tragically, 2 children in Chicago recently died of the flu. What more can families be doing to protect themselves?
We always hope that those numbers remain low. And when we talk about prevention, we focus on the most effective forms, talking about vaccinations. In past years, 80% of children who died from the flu were unvaccinated. So it's an important reminder, if you haven't done so already, it's still okay to get vaccinated. Typically, the flu season extends into May. And so now it's still an okay time, if not today, then tomorrow. And then basic mitigation methods, wearing a mask, washing our hands, and cleaning high-touch surfaces is so important this time of year.
And can you tell us the symptoms and treatment when it comes to the norovirus?
Yeah, norovirus is that virus that causes nausea,
Right.
vomiting, and diarrhea. Patients often come in with the inability to hold in food, and we're treating them supportively while also managing their other chronic diseases. In terms of prevention, this is something I advise all patients and families. When you get home, it's so important to continue to clean with some part bleach, especially those high-touch surfaces. And remember that norovirus is resistant against hand sanitizer. So it's so important to make sure that we're continuing to wash our hands with soap and water during this time
I've
of year.
never heard that before. Norovirus resistant to hand sanitizer?
Yeah, it's a tough bug, and it's one of the reasons why we've seen close to 91 outbreaks this year, 30 more outbreaks than we saw this time last year. It's completely resistant against hand sanitizer, so that's why soap and water is so important.
Well, there you have it, guys. Norovirus has got some stuff with it. We're going to go over everything we just listened to and observed. So, first off, I got about 5 pointers we need to think about. Number one is the CDC is now giving out a warning, a nationwide warning on respiratory illness increase in our country. So that means that we get more cases throughout the states. They report what's going on, and they're saying that the respiratory illnesses that they're starting to get now has risen past the normalcy. So it's a warning to let everyone know we need to get back to being diligent on wearing our gloves, washing our hands, sanitizer, etc., etc. Things are getting worse. Also, number two is the flu virus. The flu has increased in our nation in the last 2 years. 5.3 million cases, 63,000 people has been hospitalized, and 2,700 deaths has been caused by the flu. This is a large amount of people in the last 2 years. The flu is still doing damage. It's still there. My number 3 point is to reflect on the previous video that I mentioned about HMPV and how it attacks our respiratory tract and how it attacks us. So we're seeing that there's a lot of familiarities with all these viruses because they all attack the respiratory system somehow. So we need to be very aware that we don't know what you have. You could have COVID-19, you can have influenza, you can have norovirus, you can have HMPV, you can have RSV. All of them guys got license to drive in your body. We don't know who's driving. We don't know who's driving the body vibes. We don't know because all of them have the same symptoms. So they're just having a party in your body. So all they can tell you is get vaccinated and that's that. Well, we hope that's that, after you recover from these things, you don't know what's the lingering illnesses that may happen to you, or your body might take effect of what's going on, or by the vaccinations that you get in you, the liquids and stuff they put in, you don't know the reaction with your body. So you got to be very careful. Number five, and I mean 3.5, I'm sorry, 3.5, and it's just 3.5. We need to make sure you understand there's no cure. So you go in and reporting to a fast track or reporting to a hospital ER, it's not going to help you. All you're doing is help spreading it even more. So they want you to stay at home, stay isolated. Please do not fix any food for anyone, because you can spread. So please, and that's really bad because with the norovirus, that can be spread also through food contamination. So and that's also a stomach bug, and we're going to get into that a little bit later. So just be careful, guys. For the most part, you need to understand that these vaccines are there for you, but there's no cure. All right. Stay at home, cover your mouth when you sneeze and when you cough. Wash your hands. It's very important to wash your hands with warm water for 20 seconds or more, as many times throughout the day as possible. 2-3 times a day at work, maybe 3 or 4 times at school. Wherever you at, you need to constantly wash your hands with warm water for 20 seconds or longer. That's my number 4 point. Number 5. My number 5 point is just a little extra credit for you guys. You guys deserve it. You're great. CDC didn't mention at all about HMPV, but hospital officials reported we have over 4 different viruses at this time: COVID-19, norovirus, RSV, and the flu virus. So those are your 4 that we have, and we're going to go over a few of these. So the first one we're going to go over is the norovirus. And the norovirus is known for the winter vomiting bug. This is a highly infectious stomach virus. And this bug attacks you, diarrhea, vomiting, you get it. You name it, you get it. And it's very much contagious. It's very, very contagious. So you will be feeling sick. Some of the symptoms are you feeling sick, being sick, having diarrhea for up to 7 days, high temperature, headache, body aches, limb aches, arms and legs, and vomiting for 2 days. Studies show it doesn't help. You can't go to the hospital or fast track or your neighborhood community hospital just to get a check. All you're going to do is help spread it. There's nothing they can do for you too much but tell you to go sit down, get some rest, plenty of liquids, and we'll see you in a couple days. Also, don't touch anyone's food or prepare anyone's food, because all you're going to do is spread the virus more. So please be aware of that. You got to watch out for your diarrhea. Unfortunately, this is something that hits you very hard when you do get infected by this norovirus. The next virus, what is respiratory? I call it cynical virus, aka RSV. Infection virus. This attacks your lung system and your respiratory tract system, which is your lungs and everything like that. It causes mucus, and we all know if your lungs go, good morning, good night, good afternoon, good night, drive home safely, you're out of here. So you need to understand that this virus has the same symptoms as a noro. It has same symptoms as flu, same symptom as COVID. All this stuff has the same. They all have a license to drive your car, which is your body. So you need to know who's going to be driving your body or what's in you. Be careful who you be around. Wear your mask. Wash your hands constantly. But this give you the same symptoms. RSV give you the runny nose, stuffy nose, low-grade fever, sore throat, sneezing, and headaches. With all these viruses and colds and stuff, detection is by nose swab and or throat swab, and that's how they can tell if you got it or not. But since the symptoms are so common in all of them, they don't know. They're going to tell you got this, you could have that. So who knows? You don't know what you have. So just understand also with RSV, this virus attacks the elderly and the youth. Elderly, we know because our immune system might be broken down, we might carry other diseases that breaks down our immune system, or other illnesses that may occur as you get older. Your immune system is not up to par, so it could attack the elderly a little bit more. Asthma and people with any type of lung issues are ideal to getting RSV. But I'm going to give you a twist in this. The last 2 years, it's been reported that 500 deaths have been in the past 2 years for children under the age of 5 years old. And that means that this virus attacks children, little bitty children. 2 died recently in Chicago. So now they might have died from the flu, if I'm not mistaken, but they do die. They do die from the RSV. So this is really critical. We need to understand that children dying, man, is just sad. Also, 14,000 deaths from RSV among adults. So it does happen to adults as well. And we need to be aware of that it does happen. Vaccines that's out. We all know the vaccines is out. You could take them if you want to. Just be careful, because what's in vaccines are not something that if you knew what was in them, you might not would take them. Again, this is just a little short video, and I just want to give a shout out to everyone in California that's going under that. Just dealing with the fires over there is really hard for everyone over there. This impacts everybody, whether you like it or not, or whether you understand it or not. I just want you to understand that what we're seeing on the news is nothing other than kill, 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 murder, 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 and fire, fire, fire. But while this is on the news, the hospitals are going in on these viruses that's on the uproar due to the weather. All these viruses I mentioned to you, which is COVID-19, norovirus, RSV, and the flu. These are all respiratory viruses that they all attack your respiratory, and they all get highly active between January and March. And that is our flu season. That is our winter season. I'm sorry. And that's why it's a high volume. Again, guys, I'm going to keep pushing them out. We're going to get this background together for you. Please, if you have any questions or concerns, at the bottom of the screen, you see we have an email there. Please, anything you want me to talk about, we're willing to talk about it. You want to come on the show, we'll talk about it. Let's help each other. Each one teach one. And again, I'm your host, Jermaine McCrimmon, signing out. Until next time, guys, stay safe.